This is the forest farm. I used to work here in the mid-60s, and happy times, very happy. I suppose you could say the best years of my life. This year was the house where Mervyn Thomas, Mrs. Peggy and the children, Mary, Pam, David lived. This is the main house here, and this one here, that was the main house there, that part. This here was the tool shed. There was a door there in the middle downstairs where the big window is. That used to be a doorway, and oh yeah, it was full of tools and all sorts of stuff. And this bit on the end was a dairy, and it's a great big churn stand by about there, made of steel, and a ramp to carry the churns up and down for the tanker to come in and take them away. Along there where those vans are, the big Dutch barn, gone long ago now. And this here was the cow shed. That's all. That was never there when I used to come down here. When I used to work here, that's just an add-on. This is all the same. The windows have been changed, but that was a milking shed. And over here was the kennels for the dogs. There were 3 dogs as far as I remember. There was Chum, a collie, there was Lady and Moss, all collies really. And they had kennels in there, you wouldn't believe it, would you? To look at it now, all overgrown. There's no pond here in those days, like there is now. That's all overgrown too. That wasn't there. But that was the main house there. And a bit on the end to the left, upstairs was a bedroom and a big double bed. And God, there'd be a crowd of us down here. There'd be some boys with on. Jeffrey Bowden was one. If you're listening to this, Jeffrey, or you're watching this, get in touch, please, bud. And a kid called Acker, he's from town as well. Can't remember his first name. But we always go upstairs there and get into bed in the night. See about 6 or 7 of us in a bed. Happy days. And yeah, they were good old days. They really were. It was a mixed farm. That means it's to arable and dairy. So go spuds, beans, peas. When I first started coming down here, it was about 1964. And we all the boys I used to knock about with, we all wanted to go to Levenlock or Barry or somewhere. So we used to come down here and pick peas. Pick a bag of peas or several bags of peas to get some money, because we never had a car, to go down the beach. And this is how I got to know about the forest farm. It was a working farm then, bloody marvellous. And yeah, beautiful. This here on the right there is a bullpen. And there's a door there in the corner. In there in the corner, where that window is, or behind the ivy, was a door. And the cows used to come across this field here, this hedge one there then, and straight into the cow shed. Oh, they're lovely. Yes, this is new here. That was never there. The barn was, and yeah, we used to have some fun down here. I slept in the barn before now, and I slept in the cow shed 2 years ago. And this bit on the end, up there, there's like a sort of grain, like a separator sort of thing. You used to carry the bags of grain up the corn, up those steps. You can't see them now because they're behind that bush. in through the door, and downstairs there's bags that they come out milled, like squashed grains, you know, like oats. And yeah, well, like I say, happy days. That's my van. This here, down here, was a chicken shed. It had 2 wooden doors on it then. And full of chickens. And down here with the pigsties. All these down here. Bloody hell. There's a door to the top of the barn up there, look. The steps going down, all overgrown. But these here are pigsties. And down here, they all collapsed. These are all pigsties here. And down here, this one here, was where the boar was, the male pig. And God, he was big. That was in there. Ricky, come on, son. And this here was full of compost and pig's manure and chicken manure. And yeah. I remember one year down here, there's me and a boy called Percy Ford, Graham Ford. We were down here, left on our own. They'd all gone to market or to a show or something. And it's just me and him here. And we were starving. So we got a meal sack, which is about a 5-ply paper sack, up to the front of the sheds. Came round here and helped ourselves to 36 eggs. We took them up his house in the Linden Road, and we had a 36 egg omelette. It was about 3 inches thick. Yes, I'll never forget that. These sheds here were calf rearing sheds, and the ones that are on the end down there was where they kept the horses, stables. I don't know what's happened here, but it's a hell of a mess. They had a silage clamp in here, and it was made out of sleepers and railway lines, like a pit. And they cut the grass, and they bring it down and lay it out, and they spread it out, and they roll it with a tractor to like compress it. And when it was full, you put like a tarpaulin on top, weight it down with tyres, and wait for a year, and it would be like silage you would give to cattle in the winter when grass was short. That was in there. My finger away again. That was in there, and this shed here was a shed by here one time with a roof on it. It doesn't seem very long ago. That was a shed there, a chipping shed for chippings, wood shavings, and we'd put the shavings in there, and we come up here and bag them and take them down the farm to the cow shed and scatter them under the cows or by the cows or for the calves or for them to lie on, so that's something nice and clean. God, yes, it's where we are, it's a corrugated tin shed. Yeah. This is going back 1965, 66. I finished coming down here about 1969, I suppose. And this in here, overgrown now, as you can see, there's a piggery in there. I don't think it's still, no, it's gone, it's collapsed. There's a big long piggery in there, windows in it, and concrete floor and what have you. when it's gone. And this year, this field where the loppings are, used to grow spuds in there and cabbages and all sorts. This road, it was a road then, used to go to town Goodnice. We used to come up here. I had to get on a tractor to go to Bennett's shop in town Goodnice to get a packet of fags. Because if we went to Whitchurch, we could get caught on that, with no license on a tractor. But up here it's a quiet country lane and no one bothered you. Yes, the cows would come over this bridge to be milked. They come over here, through the gap there. There's no fence here in those days, no trees, no none like this. And they walk straight across there to the cow shed over there in the corner. And in here somewhere, or in there somewhere, is a brick and concrete drinking trough. I think it's still there under all this vegetation. The second bridge wasn't there. None of this was here. That field was there. It could come right up to the road. And I remember in that field there, behind this big hedge, planting spuds. There'd be three of us, be moving on the tractor. We start down here and go as far as the weir. And I'll go up there, have a fag, and I'll come out down from a fag down here, back up till you're all gone, or till we fill the field up with spuds. And there's three of us, there'd be me, Mary, that was Mervyn's daughter, and maybe a guy called Gareth James. He'd be on there as well, and we three of us sitting on this planter. And every time the bell went, we put a spud down the hole. Or if it was cabbages, we put a cabbage down the hole. And it automatically fills it in. Oh yeah, this would be about November, January, it would be cold, and you'd be absolutely freezing. Yes, this bridge here wasn't here, it was just that bridge by there in those days. And I can remember a lad came down from Tongan, I marked him, I can't remember his surname. He came down here from Tongan, I said, "I'm doing Minnie. He's going too fast." Because the road used to go up there, behind there. He hit this bridge here, this boy in a minute, he hit this bridge, and the boot flew open, and all his tools fell out, and it shook him up a bit, to say the least. It seems to be bigger now than it used to be. But yeah, that's the way, that's the road to the Forest Farm. This is the continuation of that road which we saw down by the bridge. It's been diverted, well, go down there, along there, and then about 200 yards, turn left, and down to that bridge. This is the road to town Goodnice. I walked down here in the night, and 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, he's scared to death. There's different noises and sounds. These trees over here, these weren't here. None of these trees up here were here in those days. And this field, this will be a field here, it's full of peas and beans and all sorts of things. I don't think we grew carrots here, but peas and beans we did. And this is where we used to come. There's a fence along there. There's a fence there. The fence over there, that's still there. And we used to come up here on our push bikes and pick some peas. Well, I ate more than I put in the sack because they were so sweet and tender. They were lovely. And yeah, I can't remember how much we got for them, but we thought enough then to catch a train down to Penarth and walk then from Penarth to Lavernock and spend the night down there and probably get into trouble and get into mischief as kids do. Well, we did then anyway. No computers, no mobile phones, as you can imagine. This is about 1964. I was 18, giving my age away now. Yeah, none of these trees right here. It was absolutely lovely. And like I say, we used to come up here on a tractor from the farm and go to Bennett's, top of Iron Bridge Road, and get a pack of fags. They were on the corner of Iron Bridge Road and the main road. I should go up there, a pack of fags for everybody probably, and go back on the farm and see what we could do. I'd be picking beans or peas, planting spuds and beans or whatever, haymaking, helping with milking, and yeah, they really were the best years of my life. I had a job. I worked in gas cans in Castle Works, but I welcomed on the farm. More enjoyable. I didn't get paid, but we were happy. And money's not everything. I know it helped, but we were happy. We were so happy down here. In this bit of land here in the corner on the right hand side were 2 cottages. And in the garden was a big old fashioned pump, a water pump, you know, with a big handle on in there. One fella called Bill Weeks, he grew geraniums, so my dad would come up here and buy geranium plants off him. And the other fella next door was a guy called Peter Edwards. He's a tongue nice boy, gone on now I think. And they had no electric, no gas, water out of the pump. But God, they were happy. Looking at that now, you wouldn't think. We used to grow peas in there and beans and what have you. But look at the size of some of these trees. But there we are, it is nearly 60 years ago. And a lot can happen that time. Yes, the road went straight up there, alongside the canal, like it is here, to Tongbinlice. And to link up the Iron Bridge Road. I'll do that some other time. But this one here then, the M4 wasn't there, nor this road here, nor the Amersham and all that down there, they weren't there. Ricky, come on. This is the top. Top lock. That wasn't there, that tunnel. If you walk straight through here, I'm used to. Because in the summer there'd be a fair in Tongbinlice, a fun fair, travelling fair, Deakin, I think it was Deakin's, and you could hear the music blaring out from down in Whitchurch. Be blaring out all the hits of the early 60s and mid 60s and 50s. Absolutely lovely. And we walk up here to the fair. We also went into Gabarva as well. They had the same fair, the travelling fairground. Dodgems and penny arcades and waltzes and all sorts of things that you see on a fairground. They really were happy days. Never going to come back. This is the Middle Rock. Watkins. The Lock Cottage is over in there. There's pictures of it somewhere. And here, in the mid-50s, was a lock, like a sluice. And it's under there, under the wall, it's by there somewhere. The wall, a brick wall, about 18 inches thick and about, I don't know, 3 foot high. You wouldn't think so, looking at that mud and silt in there now. And on the bottom was a sluice. You can open it with a spanner, hopefully they'll shut it. And my dad had a spanner. Well, you can guess the rest. And it was the same spanner that used to fit the sluice up on up by Ratherweir. There's three gates there, and you can wind it up, take the retaining catch off sort of thing, and let the gates drop. And you can imagine that too. Yeah, I've done all sorts of things with a kid. As a proper little sod, as you can see. So, kids are no different today. But yeah, we had some fun down there those days. And here in the canal, you go fishing, stickerbacks, tadpoles. And you don't see that anymore. I haven't seen a tadpole up here, so I don't know how long. And it used to be fairly deep by here. It's not anymore. Well, it is. It's all mud and silt. All silted up, but in there, and it's clear too. With tadpoles, stickerbacks, frogs, all sorts of things. Now, it's just overgrown. A shame, really. So much could be done down here that they could put this bank together, because the bank is right out there, look, at the beginning of those lily pads. That's where the bank starts off. And all the stones up there from those old cottages, they're still there, good big substantial slabs of stone. They could bring them down here and put them in there and reinstate the bank. But before long, they'll be over there, or there'll be no canal bank. But they seem to be wasting money on rubbish, you know what I mean? Put up fence posts for nothing. I saw some earlier on, 2 fence posts, nothing on them. Put up wildflowers grow on their own, they don't need any encouragement, they do it on their own. And they seem to be wasting money. Look, they did it by there, now why can't they do it by there? Or in here. They say it's the dogs going in the canal. I don't think so, because in the 50s and early 60s, and after the canal closed in the 40s, we could bring our dogs down here. It was never like this. What it needs is a good clean out and start afresh, but like I say, I'd rather waste money on rubbish. Look, fence post here, what the hell for? It's up by there, a fence post. They put a fence up, and there's nothing by there. What's that need of? To make it look pretty? And they got stones down here. Now why can't they do it all along the canal? Oh, they bags of, that's what they could do there, look. Bag of cement. Morning, ducky. And they could do this, look, we've done it here. So why can't they do it all along? Throw some bags of cement up. Or sandbags. With cement. Like they have there. They could do that, but no, waste money instead. This used to be the 20 acre. It's going down there, bottom of the canal more or less, up to the little bridge which we saw earlier. None of these trees are here. This past here wasn't here, and the grass was fairly short. And I can remember one day, or early one morning, me, Percy Ford and Daylight were chasing a little piglet around the field to catch him. Because the farmer said if we catch him we can have him. Well, we ran on the field like bloody lunatics. I think we eventually caught him, and he was housed over the farm down here. And but what a run around. Happy days. But yeah, they seem to be wasting money down here. They got a fence down there, what for? All costing money, all money wasted. I don't know what I'm talking about. You need a good kick up the arse. The field where we chased that little piglet came right up to here. From right down there, right down the bottom of the canal, right up to here. So we have a good chase on our hands. And we caught him eventually, I think. Him in a sack. Yeah, he came right up to here. On the road, you can see. The road came over this bridge here. And up to there to join that road, which we saw earlier at the Tongue Ice. If we came over here in those days, had about 3 or 4 fields up there. It led down to the feeder. And the cows were in it and the cattle. It was so quiet and peaceful then, no noise, it was lovely, or not much. Yes, this field to go all the way up there to the weir. And like I said earlier, I'll be planting spuds in there in November or January. And God, it was cold. I had no things. What I used to do, to keep warm in those days, I'd have a meal sack, like a paper sack, about 3 or 4 ply. I cut a hole on the top of my head, 2 on the side of my arms, and put a jacket on top of it. It kept me warm, like insulation.